Hi, my name is Anne. Thank you for coming to my channel. The topic for today's video is something I get comments on a lot when I travel. I also travel in groups. I lead study abroad groups, and I occasionally travel with just one or two other family and friends, but I do travel alone a lot. And one of the most common comments I get is, I couldn't do that because I couldn't eat in a restaurant alone. So that's what I want to talk about today, is the idea of eating alone and strategies you can use if you're not comfortable with a restaurant by yourself, ways that you can still eat and experience the culture through food without that discomfort you might feel in a restaurant by yourself. So when I was in my mid-20s, the company I was working for at the time sent me to a town in England called Doncaster, and I lived in a hotel for 10 weeks, and I had to eat out because it wasn't a kind of hotel that had any kind of kitchen accommodations in the room. So I learned really quick how to get comfortable with eating out by myself because I had no other choice, and I obviously couldn't go 10 weeks without eating. So for me, it's not a big deal anymore. It's something I'm very used to. I don't even think twice about. And to be honest, I have never had anybody say anything to me or look at me funny or anything that would make me feel like I was doing something wrong or strange. It's possible people felt that way, but it was never expressed to me, and I never got that feeling. So I think when you're out eating out just locally, look around and you'll probably see people eating by themselves. It's a fairly common thing. People travel for business. It's not a big deal, but I understand that for a lot of people that is a barrier to going out and seeing things by themselves. And I'm not even talking about traveling to another country. It could just be going to a nearby town to go see something, and you'll be gone for several hours and you're thinking, well, I won't be able to eat because I'll be by myself. So here are some strategies for things you can do to be more comfortable with eating by yourself. So the most uncomfortable part of eating by yourself is the time in between when you order your food and when the food comes, because you're pretty much just sitting there with nothing to do. So back when I was in Doncaster, this was in the mid-90s, so it was before smartphones, I would always bring a book with me so that I would have something to do while I was waiting. Now I usually have my phone with me or even an iPad. Most restaurants these days are going to have Wi-Fi access, so if you're in another country and you don't have a data plan for international data, you'll still be able to use your phone. So I'm checking my emails, I'm looking at social media, and that really passes the time, so I'm not just staring into space waiting for my food. So I encourage you to try eating at a restaurant by yourself, bring something to do, and you'll probably be fine. But if that's something you're just not willing to do for whatever reason, here are some things that I would suggest you do to eat while you're traveling by yourself. So first, it is generally easier to eat alone at lunchtime than at dinner because you have lots of people who are working and taking their lunch breaks by themselves. And so if you're going to eat at a restaurant by yourself and you want to try it out, lunch is a little less awkward than dinner. So that would be a good place to start. If you're in a big enough city, you can get your food from street vendors, food trucks, mobile type places like that, where you are just going to take the food away and then you're not sitting at a table ordering, which I think is the most awkward part for a lot of people. So visiting a food truck, you can take your food, go sit on a park bench somewhere and eat local food in a more comfortable way. When I travel, I like to stay in apartments if I can, if I'm going to be in a place for several days. That gives me a kitchen, which means going to the grocery store and eating some of my meals in the apartment. It is a cheaper way to eat than going out every single meal. I find going to grocery stores to be a really cool cultural experience because you can try things that you've never tried before, see how things are organized differently in grocery stores. I really love grocery stores, so that's a fun way to eat. And then I eat in the apartment. I eat all my breakfasts in an apartment and a lot of my dinners just to save money, and it's just a really great way to eat. You can also use a grocery store just during the day to get food for a picnic kind of lunch. So go into the grocery store, you could buy pre-made sandwiches or salads or things like that, or buy the ingredients to just take with you and again, eat at a park bench somewhere where you feel less awkward being by yourself. So those are some suggestions I have for eating while you are traveling alone. I really do encourage you to just bite the bullet, go to a restaurant, sit down and eat. You will probably find that it's not as scary as you think it is, that you're not being judged in a way that you think you might be, and it opens up a lot more opportunities. But if you're completely uncomfortable with that and just can't do it, hopefully some of these things give you the courage to go out and travel by yourself, knowing you'll be able to get your meals in without doing something you find uncomfortable. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. I'll see you in the next one.